Remember the restrictive measures enacted in Canada by Justin Trudeau during the COVID-19 pandemic? Police shuttered churches and arrested pastors for defying government health orders. Well, now opponents of a proposed law known as Bill C-367 contend the legislation would deprive Canadians of their right to religious freedom. Proponents of C-367 contend it is a response to anti-Semitism, while Christians say essentially those who share biblical views of sexuality or other matters publicly could face arrest for hate crimes. We're here with more is Jeff King, president of International Christian Concern, ICC. Jeff, please explain what's happening in Canada. It seems well-intentioned, but you believe the law would pose a grave danger to religious freedom.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. It will. And it's not, these laws don't come about by accident. So this thing is advanced. There's been a whole series of bad laws passed previously in Canada that brought forward hate speech laws. Always a bad idea in democracy. It's always a way to protect a special interest group and to actually attack political opponents. So basically, the hate speech laws that were passed previously, the Christians were told to be, hey, calm down, everything's fine. There's protections for you in there. And those protections revolved around free speech and religious thought. And so basically, if the Bible says this, if the Quran says this, and you're saying, you know, something based on that, you're protected. That's religious free speech. This bill, believe it or not, just like was tried to pass in the United States, the Equality Act, this bill would dismantle those protections. It's a monstrous step back for religious freedom. It's a dismantling of religious freedom in Canada.
Well, this bill had a first reading in the House of Commons, I believe, last November. So where does it stand at this point? It seems stalled a bit.
Well, we're in the sausage making, so it's where is anybody's guess? Basically, if Trudeau supporters get behind it, it'll move forward. The whole idea is to bring enough press to this. Most people are asleep. They don't even know what's going on. So the whole idea is to bring enough press to this, to wake people up, to shout, to call their representatives, and to do more if they have to. Because what will happen is if the bill is exposed and what it's really trying to do, the members should back off.
Well, we all want to protect people from hate crimes, whether they're LGBTQ, Jews, Muslims, Christians, but you believe this goes too far. It wasn't too long ago. Remember, the churches were ordered closed. Police arrested pastors like Tim Stevens in Calgary for keeping his church open during COVID. Truckers saw their bank accounts frozen when they staged a protest in Ottawa and the Ambassador Bridge. And then Catholic high school student, remember him, Josh Alexander, he was expelled for sharing biblical views of transgenderism. So what do you believe is going on right now with freedom in Canada?
Well, look, I said it, I'll say it again. These laws don't come about by accident. They're not accidentally bad laws. They're typically dreamed up, in the bowels of a political party, and it smells of banana republic. I'm telling you, these things are used to put knives into the hands of one political party to attack their enemies. That's exactly what will happen. And people who believe in religious freedom, who believe in democracy, atheist, agnostic, left, right, it doesn't matter. You should be alarmed. These laws always protect us from one another. And that's what, in the U.S., that's what our founders saw so clearly. We all, at a very base level, need to be protected from one another because we will attack those who are different. And it doesn't matter if you're left or right, or it's just human nature. And so those laws, and especially the religious freedom laws, are so potent. They're such a potent force for democracy. They are enshrined. They have to be protected. They have to be guarded.
And you're concerned about those political views drifting south of the border, right here to the USA. Most people would say, well, that's Canada. That couldn't possibly happen in the United States. We have a constitutional guarantee of religious freedom here. So what are the chances similar laws could be implemented right here in the good old USA?
Well, Gary, it's 100% because it was already tried with the Equality Act under the Biden administration. Complete nightmare, the exact same strategy. And let me tell you how this goes. I've been doing religious freedom around the world for 20 years, and so I'm familiar with every game that every Marxist dictator or despot tries or Islamic radical tries. So these laws, it's always this: out of one side of the mouth, the politician says we have religious freedom in our country. Oh, please. And those laws stand on the books, but they're ignored because, on the other hand, on the other side of their mouth, what they say is, we have religious freedom, but that's for your own home. Get out of the public square. That's exactly what happens under Xi and China and Vietnam, all these places, the worst places for religious freedom, including North Korea. There's no place in the public square. You can think about your Christianity. You can practice it in your own home. Don't spread it. Don't share it. Everything will be fine. You see, we have religious freedom.
Well, I can't let you go without asking you about your new book on that subject matter, The Whisper, Lessons of Renewal Whispered from the Prison of the Persecuted. It's a 30-day devotional. Tell us more.
Well, this book really started, I was called to the work of the persecuted in ICC 20-some years ago, and the Lord kept whispering to me. He basically was telling me to listen and to learn the teachings of the persecuted. He said they had lessons of great importance, and it wasn't for me. I was to shout them to the church, and it took me a very long time to understand them. But once I did, I've been shouting those things, and this is in the form of a devotional. And those lessons, those life-changing lessons, are encapsulated into stories of the persecuted and embedded in a 30-day devotional.
Okay, Jeff King, president of ICC, that's International Christian Concern. It's good talking with you again, Jeff. We always appreciate the work you do. God bless you.
Thank you, Gary.